Welcome back, folks. I'm MTG Joe. We're here with a kind of little switch up for the budget build series. So normally I naturally go in the progression of budget, mid-budget, non-budget, so like fully tuned. We did the budget version. We're going to skip over the mid-budget just for now and play the non-budget. A couple reasons for that. I've been playing this deck a lot in ranked, best of one. And I think 9 wins away from Mythic. So I kind of want to make the push, see if we can get Mythic this month. So that's one reason. And then the second reason is I've got a couple flex spots in the deck that I want to work out before making a recommendation in terms of what to build. I don't want to say, like, craft these cards, and then we go to the non-budget version, and then those cards aren't there anymore. So I do like to kind of fine-tune my list. So I cut out mainly the red steel card. What is it called? Claim of the Firstborn from the main board. With the non-budget version, the red splash is very minimal. It's basically just for Mayhem Devil, and I wasn't consistently getting red in most of my draws, so it was a little awkward. Never really found moments to cast it for value. Instead, I've been trying a couple cards. I tried Bantu, tried Chandra. The mana didn't work for 3 mana Chandra. So I'm currently using a 1 of Gruesome Menagerie. So Gruesome Menagerie is a card I featured in my mono black Ayara deck. Basically, you can get back some combination of Cauldron Familiar, Priest or Lazotep Reaver, Ayara, and then if you have an Ayara already, those stack on ETB, everything sees each other. So it's kind of like a combo finish towards the end that you can work out. And that kind of gets me the last points of damage. Because there's a couple games where I got him down to 2 to 4 life, but I wasn't able to close out. So I'm playing a 1 of Gruesome. It's a good just kind of value reanimated card. If it wasn't for so much Oko, I would try the Cauldron, the legendary artifact. But with Oko, it just turns it into an elk, so there's not much utility there. So the deck itself, it's very similar to the budget version. We're basically looking to exploit the interaction of Cauldron Familiar and Witch's Oven to keep sacking the creature, getting it back. Paired with that, you get Mayhem Devil. Whenever you sack a creature, you get to deal damage, so it's kind of a combo in that element. You still have your Priest of Forgotten Gods, which also serves a way to get card advantage, sacrifice creatures, get mana, ramp like that. This build, we do have Gutterbones in it, so Gutterbones can be sacked to the Priest, and with the mana, you can bring it back. It's also an aggressive 2/1 for 1 mana. So it's kind of recursive threats. We still have the Footlight Fiends. We still have the Lazotep Reavers. We go up to 3 Midnight Reapers in this build. Just kind of card advantage through there. Every turn you can sack the Familiar and then draw a card. So it pretty much nets you the life difference anyways. So you're basically just drawing a card each turn, draining your opponent. 3 Murderous Riders. One of the best removal spells, gets rid of Oko right on the spot, gets rid of Teferi, so lots of good options there. Ayara is one of my favorite cards from the set. So she is basically mirroring Cauldron Familiar's ability, but for any black creature. She can also be served for card advantage by sacking those creatures. Then I'm playing 2 Rankles. There was an option to play 3, but I've been running into a lot of Krasis decks recently where we can't go over the top of them. Their Krasises are bigger, so then Rankle's kind of lackluster. When people are playing slower like Golos decks, it's easier to go over top and then deal some damage that way. But its abilities are all relevant. You can force your opponent to discard, sack, and it could draw us cards. We're playing 3 castles. Good card advantage. We're playing mainly a mono black deck. Our mana base is 1 mountain that can be searched with Fabled Passage. Fabled Passage also triggers the Mayhem Devil. So you can deal damage with your lands. So the 1 mountain can be found, 4 Blood Crypts, and I hate them in the deck, but it's a necessary evil, is the 2 Bloodfell Caves. I wish we could play a different land, but we need just to be able to have the black and red. I always seem to draw it at the worst moment. So like I said, I've been playing this predominantly in best of 1, so that's where I'm going to be featuring it. I do have a sideboard for it. I haven't fine-tuned it just yet, but the essence is there. Duress vs. Control, Claim vs. Aggro Mirrors, Legion's End vs. Golos, Noxious Grasp vs. Green Stuff. Questing Beast is very hard for this deck to deal with because most of our creatures are small. Elderspell when needed for Planeswalkers, Drill Bit as like a Thoughtseize effect, Tybalt versus the life gain, Revenge for our friend Golos, and then an Experimental Frenzy versus the grindy matchups. So that's pretty much the deck. I'm going to run it through some best of 1 games. So we are currently Diamond 2. So I'm close enough that I want to try to see if we can make it. So I'm currently 18-7 with the deck in non kind of either the opponent missed mana or we missed mana. So like non-games I usually don't count in my metrics. I like to know what true games are. That's the best way for us to get familiar with how a deck's functioning. I'm going to keep this hand. We're an oven away from kind of comboing off. I'm inclined to keep good mana with a cat. So how's everyone doing today? I'm wondering, we're a day away from the potential ban of Golos. Saddens me because I have most of the deck in paper, but makes me happy that we can play mid-range decks again. So it's actually not too bad of a draw. So I'm going to lead with the castle to make it seem like we don't have red mana yet. And then probably go Midnight Reaper next, to be honest. There's a lot of mid-range strategies that are getting validated. I'm a little concerned with Oko. Like from Mythic Championship, we've seen a lot of Oko ramp style decks. So here they could have the Shock. This might be the Wilderness Reclamation deck that's been going around. So now we're in a good spot. We don't have a sack outlet just yet. Okay, this is ramp. Yeah, this could still be the Wilderness Reclamation deck. No. Seems just like Golos with a bad draw. Golos matchup's pretty good if you could get a fairly aggressive draw. The fact we can go over the top without combat damage, and a lot of games you could win without combat damage is quite relevant. Okay, so we draw 4 cards here, so I'm not terribly upset. And we got the oven. Perfect. A little awkward because I can Ayara, but then I can't play a second. I need a black source. Drawing triple Murderous Rider is a little awkward. Okay, so we got Priest. I still think we just go Ayara and Oven. If they have a removal spell for it, we can just get Cauldron back. And we've loaded our graveyard if we draw Gruesome Menagerie. If they drop Golos, I can Murderous Rider it. That's fine. Lazotep Reaver is actually very good as well. So here I'm just going to Murderous Rider. Throw out the Gutterbones. Because their life total is pretty low and they're going to start getting zombies, I want to get this chip damage in now. I'm going to bring back the cat on end step. That should set them up to drain 2 more. And then I have the Reaver and Priest for next turn, which should just combo them out. Second Golos is fine. So we should have them here. So up to Diamond, I was playing Golos Fires. But I've noticed a lot more aggro in the higher ranks. So it's having a lot harder time. So just that interaction there when you have Mayhem Devil out deals 2 additional damage. So we're going to win without even attacking them here. GG. And that's why I like Ayara in this build. It lets you go over the top. Alright, 1-0 with the deck. Let's see what we get in our pack. I need a couple Royal Scions. Midnight Clock, not what we want. And what do we got in Mastery? Ooh, let's get Rankle. And then I'm trying to get the Fae of Wishes. Gadwick's okay, but not the best. So I'm going to give Arena a quick restart. Because it's still a little temperamental. So I'll go back and do the mid-budget version later this week. And then I'll have the article up. The full article the full article is up on Aether Hub for the Esper Doom. Or Esper Stacks, Esper Prison, whatever you want to call it. That is up on Aether Hub, so you can see the full article. It's about, I think, 4,000 or 5,000 words. Highlight all of my thoughts in terms of the deck, building, card choices, everything like that. So give it a shot, check if you haven't seen it yet. And then after this one, based on the ban list, if Oko is fine, we'll do Teamer Oko budget build series after this one. This hand I don't like because we don't really have an early clock. Okay, I'll keep this one. Probably just get rid of Fabled Passage for now. We have our red source, so we're fine. A cat this turn would be the best. No. So we're probably going to lose this one. If they get a questing beast here, we don't really have much we can do. Yeah. We need a Murderous Rider. So I can block here and then sack, but if they have like a Vivian, we're in a pretty bad spot. So we block and then just sack. Green Stompy is probably the hardest matchup I find for this deck. Anything that's got a quick questing beast. Simic Food's okay. Oh, they're main morning Brontodon. Okay, they get rid of the oven. And of course we naturally draw the cat. Here I'm gonna take a turn off and just set up like this. We can take the 4 damage. Okay, so then they fight the priest. Pretty far behind this one. The fact this isn't blockable against these small things is ridiculous. Let's do this. So we're probably dead, but we have a one shot with the priest to try to get it going. Really just need to try to draw into Murderous Rider. But the fact they'll have Wicked Wolf with Goose going is a little tough. So we will block here. Block here. So I'm going to draw 2 cards. I'll lose 2 life. but I gain a life back with this Cauldron Familiar by popping it. Okay, perfect. We got Murderous Rider and Rankle. They have second Goose. They're going pretty wide as well now. So they got fodder to sack. I can sack these two. Okay, we got the oven. So sacking with the priest doesn't do too much right now, actually. So it's just oven. And I'm gonna pass the turn just in case they draw another questing beast. I don't want them to be able to cast it in their main phase. May be able to grind them a bit. So Cat can keep blocking. It's really just the questing beast that's the problematic card. Because this can block this and then shoot one of the Paradise Druids if they attack. So kill that. So we block like this, sack our cat, so I'm gonna wait on the cat in case we draw Mayhem Devil, because then that's 2 triggers. So we can take out a Paradise Druid. They got a second Wicked Wolf. Yeah, that's pretty much dead. Lands gives us 6 mana, so we still can't do both. Murderous Rider could block, Cat could block. We're a little too late. So I gained 2 off this attack. They hit us for 5 here. And then the cat, so that gives us 1 turn. This engine keeps us in so many games. So block here. Block here. The reason we're blocking like this is because they can feed food into it to make it bigger. But we lost this game due to turn 3 questing beast. We're at 1 life. Ayara can gain us a bit of life. Can't really do much there. Okay. Excuse me. 1-1. That one's one of the tougher matchups. So let's update a